This video is about the Washington Redskins' first 3 draft picks in every season of the 1970s. Did you know that they traded away 28 of those 30 draft picks? And one of the 2 players that they did draft was traded before the regular season even started. Who is that lonely one player who made it? It's 6'5", 275-pound defensive tackle Bill Brundage, who was the Redskins' second-round draft pick in 1970 out of Colorado. He played 8 years for Washington and had 49.5 sacks. The Redskins' first-round draft pick in 1970 was traded to the 49ers, and they selected cornerback Bruce Taylor, who had a very productive 8-year career. He made the Pro Bowl team in 1971 and was the 1970 Defensive Rookie of the Year. Who did the Redskins trade their first-round pick to in 1971? The Rams, and they chose outside linebacker Isaiah Robertson. Not only did he win the 1971 Defensive Rookie of the Year award, but he built a Hall of Fame type of career with 25 interceptions, 15 recovered fumbles, 24.5 sacks, and 4 touchdowns. Wide receiver Cotton Sparer was selected in the second round by Washington on January 28, 1971. Drafts were held a lot earlier back then than they are now, but traded to Baltimore on July 31, 1971. As a senior at the University of Texas, he only caught 9 passes. In the pros, he only caught 34 passes in 4 years. The Rams selected safety Dave Elmendorf with the 3rd pick that the Redskins traded to them. From 1971 through 1979, he started 130 games and never missed a start. Impressive. The Washington Redskins of the 1970s mortgaged their future by trading a slew of top draft picks for a handful of current star players and a lot of old ones who may have been past their prime, but still had a lot to offer in most cases. George Allen was their head coach and general manager, who was a spirited leader, who believed in a high level of emotional play that could outweigh talent efficiency. He spurred his players to adopt a winner's mentality, and it worked. Guard John Wilbur was one part of 8 separate trades that George Allen made in 1971. Wilbur played the last 4 years of his career with Washington, and the trade that involved him was huge. Defensive tackle Dyron Talbert, guard John Wilbur, linebackers Myron Patios, Jack Pardee, and Maxie Baughan, running back Jeff Jordan, and the Rams' 5th choice in the 1971 draft from Los Angeles to Washington for linebacker Marlon McKeever, the Redskins' 1st and 3rd choices in the 1971 draft, and the Redskins' 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th choices in the 1972 draft. Dyron Talbert played 10 years with the Redskins, from age 27 through age 36. He was a super solid performer who contributed a lot to the Redskins' success. Myron Patios had been a star with the Steelers, and he started 27 games for Washington over his age 32 through 34 seasons. Linebacker Maxie Baughan retired after being traded to Washington. In 1972 and 1973, he was the defensive coordinator at Georgia Tech, but he came out of playing retirement in 1974 to play in 2 games for the Redskins. 35-year-old linebacker Jack Pardee was a fine defensive leader, so much so that by 1975 he became the Chicago Bears head coach at the young age of 39. Defensive end Verlon Biggs was a 3-time Pro Bowler for the New York Jets from 1966 through 1968. But when he played out his contract option after the 1970 season and signed with the Redskins, Washington had to send a future high draft choice to the Jets as compensation. Defensive end Ron McDowell was a three-time All-Pro player for the Buffalo Bills from 1966 through 1968, and he was traded to the Washington Redskins on May 11, 1971. He was 32 years old and played 8 highly productive seasons with them. Wide receiver Roy Jefferson joined the Redskins on July 31, 1971. The Redskins gave up wide receiver Cotton Sparer in their 1973 first-round draft pick. He was the perfect complement to future Hall of Fame wide receiver Charlie Taylor. In my opinion, the best trade of the 1970s was when the Redskins sent a backup linebacker in their 1971 4th and 8th round draft picks for quarterback Billy Kilmer on January 28, 1971. That year, he finished 5th in the NFL MVP voting and 6th in 1972. He filled in admirably when Sonny Jurgensen was injured in 1972 and led the Redskins to the Super Bowl. In 1972, the Redskins traded all of their 3 top draft picks. The Colts selected University of Michigan running back Glenn Doughty. They converted him to a wide receiver and he caught 219 passes with 24 touchdowns. Not great, but okay over an 8-year career. The Redskins' first selection in the 1972 draft was running back Moses Denson in the 8th round. He played with the Montreal Alouettes from 1970 through 1972, and his 7.1 yards per carry in 1970 led the CFL. Washington signed him as a free agent on June 2, 1973, after he played out the option on his Alouettes' 1972 contract. He missed the entire 1973 season due to a knee injury, and he was aged 30 in 1974 by the time he actually played it down for Washington. The only player that was traded for was free safety Rosie Taylor, who was a 12-year veteran. At age 35, he started all 14 games for Washington in 1972. George Allen's trades paid off handsomely, especially on defense. The Redskins only gave up 20 points in 3 postseason games, including only 3 to the Super Bowl defending champion Cowboys, and only 14 points to the 17-win, 0-loss Super Bowl champion Miami Dolphins. 8 of the 22 offensive and defensive starters were acquired by trade in 1971 and 1972. The 1972 Heisman Trophy winner, Johnny Rodgers of Nebraska, was selected by the Chargers with the first-round pick that originated from Washington. He was a 2-time All-American who was as exciting of a player who has ever played college football. He averaged a touchdown every 7.4 touches during his college career. He signed with the Montreal Alouettes as a free agent and had 4 productive but not outstanding seasons there. On December 30th, 1976, he signed with the Chargers as a free agent. On October 19th, 1978, he was placed on injured reserve with a knee injury. His NFL career was done. Only 21 touches in 2 years with no touchdowns. In 1973, George Allen again made 8 trades, with linebacker Dave Robinson being the second biggest one. He was a former superstar with the Green Bay Packers who was age 32 in 1973, and he demonstrated that he still had a lot left in the tank. Strong safety Ken Houston was the best trade in 1973 for the Redskins. He played 8 years for Washington, made 7 Pro Bowl teams, and 3 All-Pro teams during those 8 seasons. He was outstanding and ended up in the Hall of Fame. Defensive lineman Dave Gallagher was selected with the Redskins' 1974 first-round draft pick by the Bears. He had a 5-year indistinguished career. Running back Delvin Williams was the 49ers' second-round draft pick that was traded to them by Washington, and he did have a distinguished career. From 1974 through 1981, he tallied 7,013 scrimmage yards, made 2 Pro Bowl teams, and first-team All-Pro in 1978. Williams was the first running back to hold the single-season rushing yardage record for 2 teams. 1,203 yards in 1976 for the 49ers and 1,258 yards in 1978 for the Dolphins. Redskins' first draft pick in 1974 was running back John Keyworth in the 6th round. However, he was traded to Denver not long after the draft for 1975 6th and 11th round draft picks. To me, this draft selection makes absolutely no sense. Washington got an 11th round draft pick as a bonus. It ended up being a defensive back from Nebraska who never played in the NFL. Meanwhile, Keyworth played 7 years, had 3,710 scrimmage yards and 25 touchdowns. Respectable numbers for sure. Chargers guard Walt Sweeney was a 4-time All-Pro and 9-time Pro Bowl player who joined the Redskins in 1974. He started in 27 games over his last 2 NFL seasons, ages 33 and 34. That was one of 9 trades that George Allen made in 1974. The biggest one was when he traded their 1976 first-round draft pick to the Dolphins for quarterback Joe Theismann. He was selected by Miami in the 4th round of the 1971 draft out of Notre Dame, but signed with the CFL's Toronto Argonauts instead. He quarterbacked them to a Grey Cup loss to Calgary his rookie season, but overall his 3-year stay was so-so, although he exhibited outstanding rushing skills. Theismann left the CFL, and Miami retained his rights and shipped him to Washington. His career there started out slowly as he held for kicks, returned some punts, and only threw 33 passes during his first 2 seasons. When he did get to play quarterback, he took some lumps, but also showed promise with some quality play. He blossomed under head coach Joe Gibbs' command, and the Redskins won the Super Bowl for the 1982 season over the team that drafted him in 1971. In 1975, the Chargers drafted cornerback Mike Williams with the first-round pick that Washington traded to them. He was a solid contributor for San Diego. Washington's second-round draft pick was traded to Green Bay, and they chose guard Bill Bain. He played 11 years in the NFL and made second-team All-Pro in 1984. The 49ers took kicker Steve Mickemeyer with the Redskins' third-round pick, and he played 6 years with 4 different teams. His best season was 79 points scored. The Redskins' first pick in 1975 was in the 5th round. Running back Mike Thomas. He was the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year and made the Pro Bowl the following season when he rushed for over 1,000 yards. Big defensive tackle Dave Butz played out his option with St. Louis due to a mistake in his rookie contract, and he signed with Washington. The NFL commissioner stepped in and ruled that St. Louis was to receive Washington's 1977 and 1978 first-round draft picks and their 1979 second-round pick, while the Redskins only received a 1976 5th and 15th round draft picks and a 1977 6th-round pick. Butz played 14 terrific seasons for Washington. The Dolphins selected linebacker Larry Gordon with the 1976 first-round pick that the Redskins traded to get Theismann. He played in 100 games over 7 seasons until 1983 when a heart attack tragically ended his career. The Detroit Lions used the Redskins' second pick on tight end David Hill. Guard Ron Saul was the only major trade addition for Washington, and he was a good one. He started 77 games in 6 seasons and provided quality leadership on the offensive line. Missouri quarterback Steve Pisarkowitz was drafted by the Cardinals with the Redskins' 1977 first-round pick. As a senior, he only threw 6 touchdown passes and averaged only 72.1 passing yards per game. In 3 NFL seasons, he only started 4 games and completed only 44.8% of his passes. The Rams made wide receiver Billy Waddy their second-round pick, compliments of Washington. He finished in 3rd place with the 1977 Offensive Rookie of the Year award and put up very modest numbers over 7 seasons. The Cardinals selected safety Ken Green with Washington's 1978 first-round draft pick. He had a terrific 1981 season, but he didn't make the Pro Bowl. The Rams selected UCLA kicker Frank Corral with the Redskins' 3rd-round draft pick, and he made the Pro Bowl after his rookie season. His 118 points scored led the NFL, and in 1980 and 1981 he added punting to his kicking duties. The Redskins' first selection in 1978 was 6th-round pick running back Tony Green. He made the Pro Bowl and second-team All-Pro as a punt and kickoff returner after returning a touchdown in each capacity. Amazingly, he was released on August 27, 1979, but played 15 games in 1979 between the Giants and Seahawks. Defensive end Coy Bacon was an excellent trade acquisition in 1978. He played 4 years and had 38.5 sacks. Very good numbers considering he was 36 through 39 years old. Cornerback Lamar Parrish was included in the Bacon trade from Cincinnati, and he too played 4 highly productive seasons, as he made 2 All-Pro teams during his age 31 through 34 seasons. As usual, the Redskins didn't have any selections in the first 3 rounds for 1979, but they snared a high-quality tight end in round 4, Don Warren. a three-time Super Bowl champion. So was it worth it to trade all of those high draft picks for veterans? The Redskins' 1970s winning percentage was 63%, which is very good, and they made the playoffs 5 times, including the 1971 season, which was their first playoff game since the 1945 championship game. I think it was worth it. Let me know what you think in the comments.